6 decades after leading his Marines in Vietnam, Major James Capers stood at the White House to receive the nation's highest military award. During the presentation, the president acknowledged the staggering delay, stating, "Jim, the nation kept you waiting far too long." Despite the formal recognition, Capers admitted to feeling a sense of guilt during the ceremony, telling interviewers he struggled with the idea that he deserved such an honor. This creates a difficult mystery. Why would a man whose bravery is documented across 2 wars feel unworthy of his country's highest tribute? True heroism often carries a psychological weight that remains entirely invisible to the public during moments of formal celebration. Capers' military record is one of high-stakes accomplishment. Known as the Iron Major, he is recognized as the father of special operations. He also achieved a significant historical milestone as the first African-American Marine to receive a battlefield commission. These contributions led to his permanent induction into the Pentagon's Hall of Heroes. This flawless record of courage stands in sharp contrast to the deep grief he carries today. His resume alone cannot explain his sense of unworthiness. Understanding Capers requires examining the specific, harrowing sacrifices he endured in the field. In 1967, Capers led his team into the jungles of Vietnam, operating in a hostile and isolated environment. During a devastating ambush, Capers was hit multiple times. He sustained 19 bullet wounds, and both of his legs were broken. Despite his injuries, he continued to command his unit, redistributing ammunition and holding off the enemy with his rifle and grenades until the team could pull back. When an extraction helicopter finally arrived, the mission faced a new crisis. The aircraft was overloaded and too heavy to lift off. In this moment of absolute chaos, Capers' primary instinct was the survival of his men, even at the cost of his own life. He volunteered to step off the helicopter, choosing to stay behind in the clearing to lighten the load so his team could escape. This decision followed the absolute, unwavering requirement of his command, the sacred promise to never leave anyone behind. Against the odds, Capers and his men eventually secured their survival. They extended their code of loyalty even to their war dog, King. Though King was killed saving Capers' life, the unit refused to leave his body behind, risking the overloaded helicopter to bring him home. Capers views his own life as a debt owed to the men and the animal who died protecting him. The endurance required of Capers was tested far beyond the battlefield, as his personal life was marked by further tragedy. He suffered the loss of his son, who died in his arms from a sudden case of appendicitis. This was followed by the death of his wife of 50 years, who succumbed to cancer. To process these losses, Capers relied on the fundamental logic of his military training, the principle that when one member of the unit falls, another must immediately step in to fill the gap. These personal tragedies have stripped away the prestige of his awards, leaving only the profound weight of being the one who survived. Returning to the ceremony, the source of Capers' guilt becomes clear. He finds no personal satisfaction in the medal, viewing it instead as a tribute to the young men who died in the fields of battle while following his lead. For a leader like Capers, a symbol of individual glory serves as a monument to the collective sacrifice of the unit. This perspective informs his ultimate advice to younger generations: drive on, honor that flag. In combat, drive on is the requirement that when a man falls, the next must pick up the rifle and continue the attack. Capers has translated this military tactic into a philosophy of resilience for overcoming any hardship or personal grief. Major Capers' legacy is found in his commitment to carrying the burden of leadership for a lifetime, showing that to honor the fallen, one must choose to move forward.